Sustaining clean air progress, fueling economic prosperity, and defining California's energy and transportation future is a formidable challenge for business leaders, policymakers, and engineers alike, not only here in California, but on a much broader national and global scale.
It takes bold leadership, and it takes leadership sometimes to get out of the way and create the policies that allow, the innovation and the capital to come into the marketplace to further, economic growth and actually create the technologies that will help us meet our targets.
New engines today in all sectors are near zero emissions, an incredible accomplishment that's required many things. Cleaner fuels, unprecedented investments in research, engineering, and collaboration, and working hand in hand with California policymakers and others at the federal and international levels. The results are impressive. 98% reduction in nitrogen oxides and particulate emissions in new clean diesel trucks and buses compared to those of the 1980s, and a 97% reduction in the sulfur content of diesel fuel.
Back in 2000, my job was to reduce NOx and particulates coming out of the diesel engine. And there were people, senior leaders in the company saying, wow, is this the end of the diesel engine? Well, I think Alan took you through where we are today, and it was just good, sound work. And the key was, it was a great partnership between industry and the regulators to make that happen, right? And so here's an opportunity, I think, with CO2 to do the same thing. I think we can work together with the regulators and come up with a set of policies. We have the technology. The question is, what is the most efficient way to get the technology into consumers' hands as quickly as possible and roll over the fleet?
Diesel engines power key sectors of California and, in fact, our global economy. Whether we're talking about goods movement, agriculture, construction, emergency services, diesel is the technology that people rely on to get the job done. And many Californians are even choosing diesel today for their own personal vehicles.
Car manufacturers have done so far, they've done a wonderful job. And the car manufacturers have really set the standards for the rest of the country and for the rest of the world. When we set forth the California car standards for cleaner and better efficiency, the car manufacturers have really stepped up, and I have a lot of admiration and respect for what they do, because I believe they'll be able to create better efficiency in their engines. And I think with cleaner burning fuels, folks will be able to go farther on a gallon of gasoline. I'm under no illusion at all whatsoever that fossil fuels are going to disappear. None at all whatsoever.
Or that Californians will give up their cars.
No, they're here for the foreseeable future.
What's a super truck?
Sure. So this was a program that was partially funded by the Department of Energy, and we had some very aggressive goals that we thought they were aggressive, but as it turns out, we significantly bypassed the goals. But basically what we wanted to do
was exceeded the goals.
By a lot, yeah. The program was set up really to reduce the cost of delivering freight. I mean, because this is Class 8 trucks that deliver freight today, and Class 8 trucks in California probably use about 25% of your petroleum today, so very, very big deal. So anyway, our target from an overall vehicle standpoint was to improve freight efficiency by 50%. That says the cost of fuel to take a ton of freight from one place to the other needed to be reduced by 50%. That was our goal. We ended up over a 24-hour duty cycle reducing that by 86%.
Leadership does matter. It does matter. And that's why we will not wait. We've never waited for Washington, D.C. To be honest with you, while Washington, D.C. dithers, on this issue, between members who are negative climate change deniers altogether, when the empirical data is there, we're not waiting for that. We're not going to wait for Washington, D.C. We never have. We never will. We are the state of California, and we are the leaders nationally, and they're going to have to follow, and they will eventually follow what is done here.
We support addressing the climate change issue and reducing greenhouse gas in California. It's how we do it. Where we are right now in implementing these policies or developing the next policies and what impacts they are going to have in terms of cost are the issues that we believe need more scrutiny and a lot more discussion so that we can get to the right endpoint that is going to keep California competitive.
Not all of these fuels are created equal. Not all the technologies are created equal, but we should allow as many technologies to flourish and as much innovation to flourish as much as possible. The key to all what we're talking about here is innovation.
We need to be innovative short term because we have this global warming challenge right now. It's not just coming in 30 years or 20 years, it's already here. And I think that's why it's important to consider also to use the fast solutions which we have existing today, which would be to use renewable fuels in the existing car park because it is quickly usable. For instance, with our diesel, we can reduce carbon dioxide emissions by more than 80%. And then, of course, we need very many different solutions.
We can't afford to pick winners and losers, which happens in our regulatory frameworks and is happening now. And we have to be as broad thinking as possible.